Okay, so in this video, we will be discussing inverse of a matrix. Actually, this is additional pa rin or kasali pa rin yun sa matrix operation. Okay, wherein wala tayong division, the counterpart for that is the inverse of a matrix. Okay, inverse of a matrix, so for example, we have a matrix A having which is a square matrix, n by n yung matrix niya. If there exists an n by n matrix B such that if we have here A multiplied by B, a cross product, or I mean multiplied by B, tama, that is equal to B multiplied by A, and that is equal to identity. Eto, di ba, yung na-prove na natin to, tama ba? If ganito daw, we can say that the matrix A is said to be non-singular or invertible. Okay? Then the matrix B is said to be the inverse of A. So, ano lang, ah, na-prove na natin to, tama ba guys? Na-prove na natin to, actually, nung face-to-face discussion. So, let's proceed dito. Example, we have here a matrix A, 2, 1, 1, 1. It is said to be non-singular or invertible since the matrix B na 1, negative 1, negative 1, 2 is its inverse. To verify this, observe that, example, meron tayong AB, no? I-multiply natin yung matrix A by B. So, 'di ba? That is 2 times 1 which is equivalent to what? 2. Tama ba? You add it by 1 times negative 1 which is negative 1. Kaya magiging positive 1 yan. And then ito naman ulit, 2 times negative 1 which is negative 2. Ito yan, dito yan, negative 2. Then 1 times 2 which is 2. So magiging 0 yan. Negative 2 times plus 2, 0 yan. Then we have here 1, ito naman, 1 times 1 which is 1 times 1 times negative 1 which is negative 1 which is 0 din. And then for the last one, ito naman, 1 times negative 1 which is negative 1, then 1 times 2 which is positive 2 which is equal to 1. So nakuha natin na matrix is an identity matrix. Kapag ganito daw, yung ito na matrix or the inverse of this matrix is this one. Yan yung sabi. Okay, kapag i-multiply mo daw yung dalawang matrix at saka ang makukuha mo is identity, then therefore you can say that the inverse of this matrix A equal to the matrix B. Okay? So B is it's the inverse of matrix A. Yan yun. We will be using this concept particularly in the method of row operation method. Okay? So, ito din mga properties of the inverse. Let A and B be non-singular matrices. Kapag sinasabi natin non-singular matrices, yung determinant niya is determinant of A or B is not equal to 0. May value yan. May value yan ha. Either negative or positive but not exactly equal to 0 ha. Then, you have these properties. I've already presented this, no? So you see, during our face-to-face classes. Okay? So, let's recall lang. So, okay, we have here the inverse of A. Then, you get the inverse of that pa rin. Then, that is equal to A lang. Okay? Then, you have the product of A and B. Inverse of that will be, we can just say, we can individually take the inverse of which, no? Pero mauna yung B. Okay? Then, the inverse of a transpose is equivalent lang. Pwede din, kunin natin yung inverse muna, then ita-transpose natin yan. That is equal. That is the same thing. Okay? Sige. So, at ito yung naputol na discussion natin. So, solutions to obtain inverse of a matrix. Dalawang method, adjoint method and row operations method. So, yung sa row operations method, makagamit natin yung concept na kung ang matrix A ay multiply natin sa B and then makukuha natin is an identity matrix, mean to say 1, 1, 0, 0 or 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, yan, no? Identity, only the main diagonal has a value na 1, 1, 1, identity matrix sa yan. Masasabi natin na yung B is the inverse of A or vice versa, yung A naman is the inverse of B. Okay? Particularly magagamit natin sa row operations method. Okay, una tayo sa adjoint method. So sa adjoint method, pinaka magagamit natin na concept would be the cofactor. So for example, if we wish to determine the adjoint of this matrix A, as you can see, meron siyang bracket, no? If you wish to determine the adjoint of this matrix A, kukunin mong individual na cofactor, okay, of your matrix, of your element A11, then A12, A13. Okay, di ba? So for example, kukunin natin yung cofactor ng A, aning A11. Di ba? Ika-cancel natin to. So ano matitira? Negative 1. Ito, yun. Tama ba? Then, if we wish to determine the determinant of that, that is negative 1 times 5, which is negative 5, times 0 times negative 1, which is 0. And then, di ba, that is equivalent. So, recall ha, ij is equals to negative 1. Then, we have I plus j plus minor ng ij. Okay, di ba? Kanina, I have already presented to you the signs, no? Ito magiging positive, negative, positive. Ito naman magiging negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive. Okay? Yung sa first video. Okay, tama ba? So, you just need to evaluate lang ng ano. So, since this is negative 5, so tapos times positive, magiging negative 5 pa rin. So, pangalawa, if this one, C1, 2, or row 1, column 2. Okay, so ito yan, C1, 2. So, kung i-cash out natin to, ano matitira? 2, 5, 2, negative 1, then 4, 5. So, kung kukunin natin yung determinant ito, as you can see, negative siya. Okay, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. So, yun ha. So, wag na kayo dito for that one. So, 2 by 2 matrix lang ito, diretso na yung makuha nyo yung determinant of that one. So, 2 times 5, that is 10, minus, positive ba nito, magiging minus of negative 4. Minus 4. Ayan. So, it is positive 6, tapos may negative pa dito, magiging negative 6. And the same thing din dito, at saka dito and dito. So, you just need to determine the cofactor of each of the, sorry, of the elements. Okay? The burp. Okay. So, in other words, kapag nakuha natin yung mga cofactors, we have negative 5. Sige, italic ko lang dito guys ha. So, yung cofactors ng A, cofactors of A, that is equivalent to negative 5, negative 6, negative 4, 0, 17, 0, 3, 7, and then negative 1. Kapag nakuha na natin yan, okay, that is cofactor of A pa lang ha. Yung adjoint A is just the transpose of cofactor A. So, yung adjoint of your matrix A is just the what? The transpose ng cofactor A. In other words, itong tawag nito, itong row magiging column yan. So, from here, magiging column na yan. Okay, that is your adjoint. That is still your adjoint pa ha. Kasi yung inverse kasi ito, this is denoted as by this one, inverse of matrix A is equivalent no 1 over determinant ng A times adjoint of A. Okay, una natin kukunin yung adjoint of A, which is equivalent to this one. Okay, now yung determinant, since this is the 3 by 3 matrix, we can readily solve for that one. Tama ba? Okay, pero hindi ito yung gagamitin natin na determinant kasi this is the adjoint na matrix. And hindi ito pala, sorry. Hindi ito matrix na kukunan natin na determinant because this is the matrix for adjoint. Ang kukunan natin ng determinant is the original matrix. Ito. So, kukunin natin yung determinant yan ha. That is, punta tayo sa matrix 1 and then that is 3 by 3, tama ba? So, that is 1, 0, okay, 1, 0, 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 4, 0, then 5. Okay, press AC, then shift matrix, then determinant, then shift matrix, determinant of A, and that is equivalent to negative 17. So, negative 17 yung determinant dito. Determinant of A is equal to negative 17. So, yan yung gagamitin natin dito. So, in other words, this is negative of 1 over, sorry, that is 1 over negative 17, and then the adjoint A matrix, which is equivalent to this one. So, lagay mo lang yan dito. Okay, that is negative 5, 0, 3, negative 6, 17, 7, negative 4, 0, negative 1. And this is basically a scalar multiplied by each of these elements. Makukuha mo na yung inverse ng matrix A. Okay? So again, using adjoint method, makukuha mo yung adjoint, you just multiply it with 1 over the determinant of A. Considering that the determinant of A is not equal to 0. Kasi kapag 0 yan, that is undefined. Okay? 1 over 0 is undefined. Okay, so di ba kanina, this is the inverse. We need to determine the inverse of this matrix. Okay, nakuha na natin yung adjoint, which is this one. Transpose lang ng cofactor. Kapag nakuha na natin yung adjoint, then we know that the determinant is negative 17, then diretso na. Okay? So that is our answer for this one. Ito man yung kanina. Ito, class. So, you just multiply each, no? Ito, tsaka ito, yan. So that is equivalent to this one. So basically, this is the inverse of this given matrix. Okay? Now, meron din isang way on how you can solve for what they call this one, determinant of matrix A using lang kaning mga cofactors. Kanina, I have presented you already that one. Meron dito, no? Balik lang natin, ha? Asan gani yun? Eto. So, for example, determinant of A. So, magpili ka lang ng row or column, then you just add. Okay, A11, column 1, and so on to column. So, mas madali dito is that hanapin mo yung row or column na may zeros. Okay, in other words, balik tayo dito. So, as you can see, itong column 2 ay yung column na may maraming zeros. So, in other words, the determinant of A using this adjoint na matrix is equivalent to ito is 17, tama ba? And what is the corresponding element of that sa yung original matrix? Negative 1. So, if we multiply that, that is negative 17. So, makukuha pa rin natin yung determinant using lang adjoint na matrix at saka yung original na matrix. Okay? Using the concept nun na present ko. So, this is the very exact example nung sinasabi ko na yung last video. Okay? Kasi itong 0 times 0, 0 pa rin yan. The 0 times 0, 0 pa rin yan. Okay? Now, let's proceed to row operation method. Ito yung medyo mahirap. Kasi sa row operation method, again, this is in line with yung kanina. If you evaluate the product of A and B matrix and you get the a matrix na identity, then you can say that inverse of A is B or in vice versa, yung inverse ng B is A. Okay? So, initially, ito yon yung matrix A, i-convert natin yan to this form. Okay? In which, yung makukuha natin resulting matrix dito, yun na yung inverse ng mismong A mo. Okay? So, ito yan, no? If an n by n matrix can be transformed into an n by n identity I by a sequence of elementary row operations, dito class, wala talagang, matatawag natin, wala talagang fixed na way on how you can perform a row operation, but it is somehow about the objective. Kung ano yung objective mo, ano ba yung need mo i-zero, ano ba yung need mo i-retain. So, yan yun, no? It requires practice talaga to master this row operation method. So, you need to practice. Okay? So, then A is non-singular. The same sequence of operations that transform A into an identity will also transform identity into its inverse. And mathematically speaking, if you have here your matrix A, perform row operations on matrix A until your identity is obtained, then this means A is non-singular. Okay? And then by simultaneously applying the same row operations to your identity, you will get the inverse of that matrix A. So, medyo mahirap intindihin, no? Pero with this example, natin, ma-master or what I'm trying to say here is understand natin yung concept. Okay? So, we have here the find the inverse. Actually, same lang ito kanina na problem. Ito, using adjoint and this time using row. Kasi, i-verify natin i-verify natin if we can still get the same inverse matrix using adjoint or row operation. So, una, 'di ba? A, then katabi niyan is the identity matrix. Dapat ma-convert natin yan into identity and then whatever makuha natin dito, yun na yung inverse ng A. Okay? Sige. Unahin natin muna isulat. Okay, we have A. Okay. A and then A and then I. Ito. So, 1, 0, 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1, 4, 0, 5. Ano ba yung sorry. Ano ba yung matrix ng 3 by 3 na identity. 'Di ba? Pag identity 1 1 1, then all all elements will be zeros. Okay, yan yun, 'di ba? Okay, yan yun. Okay. Bracket yan ha. So ang goal natin this time is to convert this to convert. Ang gawin natin from this matrix A na ganito, gagawin natin we will try to make it na ganito identity. And then consequently, mangyari niyan, makakaroon tayo ng matrix dito, and then that would be the matrix, the inverse matrix of A. So, una, we'll be applying row operation. So, the target would be to make this element, ito class, ito, 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 tsaka ito, maging 0 lang yung lahat. Ito, suppose 0 naman ito, 0 naman ito, mas madali na lang. So, we'll make this 1 maging 0. Ito pala hindi, maging 1 to. 0 ito dapat, then 0 ito, 0. And then this one would be 1, 1, 1. So, parang ganito na form. So, we need to target ganyan, no? So, we'll be using row operations. Actually, mag-add or multiply lang, mag-add at saka mag-multiply lang tayo, no? Or magde-divide. So, operations lang. So, we'll make a way na itong A matrix will be converted into identity matrix. Una, dito tayo mag-work sa row 2. Row 2. Dito natin gawin yung operation. So, gawin natin tong 2 maging 0. So, paano ba yan maging 0? So, yung original, yung final na 2, R2 or row 2 would be the yung initial, so maliit lang na R ha. That refers to yung big R refers to the new row, and then your small r would be from you see that will be your old row. Okay, now from old row you subtract. Okay, ang gawin natin maging 0 to, so minus 2, and then saan natin may multiply yan? Dito na sa R1 kasi yung R1 times 2 which is equal to 2, so R1. Okay, yan yung magiging operation natin for that new R2. Okay, gawin natin yan sa lahat. So this row, this row, and this row. Okay? And then aside from that, ito din. Ito, gawin natin 0 to. So that is R3, new R3 would be R3. So paano natin magiging 0 ito? You add 4 and then multiply it with row 1. Okay? Okay, mangyari niyan. Okay, gawin na natin yung operation ha. So that is A, I, okay? That is equivalent to, okay, copy lang to. 1, 0, 3 kasi wala tayong operation ginawa dyan eh. So, 1, 0, 1. 0, 1, 1. So, ito naman. So, we have here your original row 2 minus 2 times R1 which is equal to 0. So, ito naman, negative 1. Okay, negative 1 ito minus 2 times row 1 which is 0. So, that will remain what? Negative 1. Okay? Kuha ba? It will remain negative 1. And then, ito naman, negative 1, row 2, old, minus 2 times 3. Okay? 2 times 3, minus negative 2 times 3, negative 2 times 3, that is negative 6. Minus 1, that is negative 7. Kuha. And then, ito ulit, 0, minus 2 times R1, which is negative 2. Okay? 1, ito, minus 2 times 0, which is 1 ulit. 0 minus 0, 2 minus 0, that is 0. Sorry. So, yung para sa new row 3, so yung original, yung old R3 or row 3, negative 4, plus 4 times 1, so magiging 0 yan. Ito naman, 0, okay, 0 yan, plus 4 times 0, which is 0 ulit. Then, 5, yung old or R3, plus 4 times 3, okay, 5 plus 4 times 3, which is 5 plus 12, or that is 17. So, ito, 0 times 4 times 1, magiging 4 yan. Tama ba? 0 yung R3 plus 4 times 1, magiging 4. 0 times 4 times 0, magiging 0 yan. Then, 1 times 4 times 0, which is 1 lang ulit. Okay? So, ito na yung bagong matrix natin. And as you can see, almost, okay, almost na kasi meron na tayong 0, 0 dito. And then, ito na lang, gawin natin itong 0, gawin natin itong 0, makukuha na natin yan. Okay? Sige, sulat ko lang ulit dito ha. kasi we need extra sheets. Okay? So, I just memorize this one. So, sulat ko lang ulit dito. Okay? So, that is A, identity. Okay, ano yun? 1, 0, 3, 0, negative 1, negative 7, then 0, 0, 17. And then we have here 1, 0, 0, negative 2, 1, 0, 4, 0, 1. Tama ba? Okay, check natin. Okay, tama naman, no? Okay, iayos natin to. Okay, we now have our this matrix. So, gawin natin, row operation method pa rin. So, as you can see, gawin natin tong, di ba lahat ito dapat 1. So, ito negative. So, ang gawin natin, for the new R2, okay, that is negative of the old R2. Okay? So, ang mangyayari niyan, ito magiging positive na to. Okay, dito na lang, no? A, so that is copy lang, 1, 0, 3. Ito yung mahirap, no? 0, magiging positive 1, positive 7, 0, 0, 17, copy lang. So, ang change lang yan is, ano, ito, from negative 2, magiging 2, positive, magiging negative 1, then 0, 4, 0, 1. Okay, yan na yun. And then, again, we still have to make this one 0, tsaka ito magiging 0 din. Okay, so ano yung magiging operation natin yan? Una, for this one, pwede natin gawin na yung original R3 will be, ay ito pala magiging 1 dapat. That is 1 over 17 lang ng original R3. Yung new R3 should be 1 over 17 ng R3 para magiging 1 ito. Nakuha? And then that would be equal to what? That would be equal to 1, 0, 3, then 0, 1, 7, then 0, 0, 1. Ayan. And then we have here 1, 0, 0, 2, negative 1, 0. Ito magiging 4 over 17, 0 over 17 which is 0 pala yan. 1 over 17 which is 1 over 17. Okay? Yan na yun, no? So, medyo meron ng, ano, yung picture. Now, for the next operation, we'll make a way na maging 0 ito at saka ito, 0. So, ano yung i-operate natin dyan? So, una, for the new R1, we'll make this one to 0. So, therefore, your old R1 minus siguro ng minus, ano, we have here 3 of R3. So, ayan, no? 3 of R3. So, in other words, if you will multiply, this is your old R1, 3 minus 3 times 1, that is 0. So, pwede na to. We'll make this one 0. So, how about itong 7? So, for your a new R2, that is, yung old R2 minus, ito magiging, dapat magiging 0 yan. So, 7 pa rin yan. 7, tapos yung R3. Okay? Dito R3. So, in other words, kapag gamitin natin to na operation, mangyari niyan. So, dito na siguro, no? 1, 0. Okay, again na. Ito. Okay, 1. Tama ba? 1 minus 3 of this R3. So, that is 1 minus 3 times 0, which is 1 pa rin. Kaya ito. Kaya 0 minus 0, minus 3 times 0, 0 pa rin yan. Tsaka ito, 3 minus 3 times 1, magiging 0 na yan. Okay? And then, in the same way, ito naman, magiging 1 minus 3 times 4 over 17. So, ito yan. Dito, magiging 1 minus 3 times 4 over 17. Okay? So, yan yung dito. Tapos, ito naman, 0 minus 3 of 0, which is 0 pa rin. And then, this one, 0 minus 3 of 17, which is negative 3 over 17. Okay? So, for R2, new R2, magiging 0 pa rin ito dito. Kasi R2, 0, minus 7 of the 0, 0 pa rin yan. Then, 1, R2, minus 7 of the 0, 1 pa rin yan. Ito naman, magiging 0 na yan. Then, we have R2, 2 minus 7 of R3, which is 4 over 17. Okay, then it's negative 1. Okay, negative 1. And then, we have here 7 times 0, which is 0. So, negative 1 lang ito. Negative 1 pa rin ito. And then, sorry, medyo lag na. Negative 1. Then, we have 0 times negative 7 over 17. So, that is negative 7 over 17. Okay? And then for the last one, copy lang natin 0, 0, 1, then 4 over 17. Then we have 0 for that center. Okay, dito na lang lagay natin. 0, then we have 1 over 17. Okay, so therefore, sa pansin ninyo, nakuha na natin yung identity matrix ng A. So this one will be equal to identity na of your inverse. So ang resulting matrix nito will be the inverse of A na. So ano yung inverse nito? So ito lang, i-operate natin yan, then that means equal to what? So 1 minus 3 times 4 over 17, ito magiging 12 over 17. 1 minus 12 over 17 magiging, ano yan? 5 over 17 yan. Then copy 0, ito, nag-copy negative 3 over 17. Okay, sorry, medyo lag. Okay, wait. So that is negative 3 over 17. And then we have here 2 minus 7 times 4 over 17. Ito, maging 2 minus 14 over, wait, 28 pala. 28 over 17. So this would become equal to 6 over 17. Okay? Check na natin sa calculator. So that is basically 2 minus, okay, that is 7 times 4, sorry, naka-matrix pala tayo. So 2 minus 7 times 4 divides 17, and that is equivalent to 6 over 17. Kanina, 1 minus 3 times 4 over 17, and that is equivalent to 5 over 17, which is correct. Ito, magiging negative 1 pa rin yan, and then ito, negative 7 over 17. So for the last one, 4 over 17, 0, 1 over 17. Now, ito na yung magiging inverse matrix. Now, let us check if same ba ito nung adjoint method. Okay, paki-memorize guys. Then I will change the slides. Balikan natin yon. Okay. So, napansin nyo, 5 over 17, 6 over 17, 4 over 17. Same lang yan. Okay? With row operation method. So, either way, you can use adjoint or row operation method. Okay, medyo mahirap yung row operation method no because it requires what? Dapat alam mo kung ano yung i-multiply mo, ano yung i-subtract mo para maging 0. Okay, so kaya target based siya. Kung ano yung output mo, okay, ibabase mo yung operations mo doon sa gusto mong output. Pero itong concept ng row operation method will be applying this one in the next topics, which is Gauss elimination, Gauss Jordan, and so on and so forth. So better you practice doing row operation method. Okay? So that is basically your inverse using adjoint and row operation method. Okay? So for your, actually meron ditong, meron ditong solution. So I will just upload this one also. So for your assignment to be submitted on Monday, use either adjoint or row operation method to find the inverse. So actually, I would encourage you to use adjoint and row operation para ma-compare nyo yan. And then ma-practice nyo yung row operation method. And this is still, you need to submit this on Monday, ha? Okay, on Monday will still be our examination. Coverage will all be topics that I have already discussed to you. So good luck, and I hope you studied well for your upcoming exam. And at the end of my presentation, keep safe everyone, and I'll see you around.